Hello my friend, Zueljin here. Through streaming and your comments on the last video, I've been able to create 15 more things that you may not know about Satisfactory. You can activate ragdoll mode by holding Control, Shift, and R. Your character will go limp and just fall over to the ground for just a second. Get right back up afterwards. This actually prevents fall damage from any height. So when you hit the ground and you're in ragdoll mode, you don't take any damage. There is a slight chance you go through the world though. You can gain infinite height with your jetpack by activating it, opening your inventory, switching to the Blade Runners, and letting go the buttons. You'll go as high as you want to go until you actually hit the stratosphere and start taking damage. While in mid-flight, even if you try to switch back to the jetpack, it won't work, so you have to activate ragdoll in order to stop your ascent. You'll hit the ground, take no damage, and when you get back up, your jetpack will work again. You can manually harvest a resource node away from keyboard with your chisel by holding E and pressing tab as you're holding E. Your chisel will keep going while you're in your inventory screen, and you can even press escape without messing with the mining. All you have to do to stop mining is look away from the actual node. You can enclose your mining structures if you place foundations on the nodes before you place the miners. Use the 8M by 2M foundations and place them on the center of the node, and construct the miner right where it should go without the foundations. You'll see that it has a snap point that you can click and rotate. And now it's inside your factory and you can enclose it with walls and more foundations. Even if it's enclosed and under a ceiling or between walls, it'll still continue to generate ore. You can catch a ride on the Sky Manta just by getting on a high place, such as the large arch in the starting area, and the jetpack helps with this a lot. Getting right on top of the Manta, just like this, and taking a ride. You can walk around on top of it, check out the little animals next to it. You could try hitting it as well, but nothing happens. When you're swimming in deep water, you can't do anything like swing weapons, access your inventory, build. All you can do is basically turn on your flashlight. But if you go into ragdoll mode with Control-Shift-R, you'll sink to the bottom of the ocean. You'll stand up on the ocean floor. You'll have access to swing your weapons, open your inventory, build, deconstruct, and as soon as you press space again, you'll start swimming and go right back up to the top without any fear of losing oxygen or health. When exploring and finding crash sites, you can uncover hard drives, which can be scanned in the MAM in about 10 minutes. Once you're sure that the 10 minutes have passed, press E on the MAM to see the recipes that are available from the hard drive scanning. If you don't like what you see, you can load your saved game and get a completely different result, including the best recipe in the game in my opinion right now, which is the alternate screw recipe that only uses 2 iron ingots and produces 90 parts per minute.
Data on the hard drive has been salvaged and can be repurposed to unlock an alternate recipe.
You can bounce on top of these land whales as though they were trampolines. Just jump right onto their backs, and it'll bounce you away, even with a neat little sound effect. Some areas in the game, like caves, can't be accessed without a chainsaw. If you try to go through these vines, it won't let you, but you can equip the chainsaw and take care of them just like trees. Some biomes and caves in the game contain these nasty spiders. For people with arachnophobia, this could be really scary. If you go into your options menu, go to gameplay and select arachnophobia mode and hit apply and confirm, the spiders turn into glitchy, fluffy kitty faces that still attack you just like the spiders. And when they die, they persist and just stare at you no matter what direction you look at them from. When running power lines, you can't connect 2 poles if there's obstacles in the way like foundations or walls, because it says encroaching other clearance. But what you can do is delete the obstacles run the power, and then reconnect the foundations and walls right through the line without any problems with clearing. You can place power lines and conveyor poles on top of existing conveyors. All you have to do is use a conveyor pole to connect one conveyor, start stretching the belt, and click right on top of it. You can do the same thing with a power pole by placing one pole, connecting power, and dropping the pole right on top of the conveyors. Dropped items can be a really neat decorating tool. All you have to do is drop single items out, and once you get on top of that item, you can stack it, or you can manipulate the placement of it by experimenting with what angles work better from different placements. Just like that. An example of a very intricate design is using something like conveyor belts, parachutes, and walkways to make this nice canopied walkway. To do this, you have to place conveyor poles, one right next to another, just like this, and then connect those conveyor poles inside with a conveyor belt from one to the other. The result is a little bit of an intersecting conveyor belt. Connect storage to one of the conveyor belts and add a single parachute to that inventory. Once it goes all the way down the conveyor, go ahead and delete the belt, and then connect the belt to the next conveyor in line. Put in a parachute, let it delete, and rinse and repeat. Conveyors clip through just about anything. Trucks and tractors have some really interesting physics mechanics when you put them together in a stack. They kind of just fly around, and the gravity just doesn't exist anymore. They could do some really wild things like shoot straight up in the air, and they can even get stuck. What's even stranger about this is they only seem to move once you start moving again. And they're stuck again. And now I'm moving again. And they finally came unglued. Looks like I still got one up there. Let's move a little bit. It frees it, and it starts falling again. You could do the same thing with tractors. Sometimes the effect is not quite as grand as the trucks, but they still act pretty wacky. And finally, if you do it with the trucks, you can actually enter the truck right before it starts to lift off and take a ride with it. So make sure to check me out on twitch.tv/Zueljin while I figure some of this stuff out live, as well as my YouTube channel for more videos just like this. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.